morning. Thank you for coming on this January 30th, 2022 for the Sunday service for the Konko mission of Wahiawa. Mediation prayer, page 2. Let us seek the sacred mediation of Wahiawa Konko sincerely and wholeheartedly each and every day. May we receive the mediation anew with all our hearts and souls on this day, this very moment. Wahiawa Konko Daijin Sama, Wahiawa Konko Daijin Sama, Wahiawa Konko Daijin Sama. Purification prayer. Through the way of mediation, may our sincere apologies be acceptable to you, our divine parent. We acknowledge our mistakes and misunderstandings, arrogance and ignorance of your divine favor. We apologize for all our shortcomings and errors from past generations. Guide us in the way of living. Imitate your divine will, with a pure, joyful, and loving heart, always one with you. Kami prayer. Reverently we pray, the brilliance of heaven riches of earth, time flows without cease, years pass without end. In heaven and earth, the light nourishes all. In heaven and earth, the truth adores us all. For this wondrous form, for these wondrous works, let us praise the teacher and Kami. Let us praise the divine parent of the universe. Kami loves and cares for all humanity, all those who live between heaven and earth. To revere Kami as the divine parent, to live in Kami's infinite blessings, this is the way. Yet many not knowing the way are lost in greed and selfishness. They suffer the cycle of misfortunes, greatest harm and sorrow. Our founding father, Konko Daijin, suffered many trials in this world, but held it for through faith and sincerity, to receive Kami's great blessing and began a life of mutual fulfillment of Kami and humanity. Humbly we pray. The divine parent graciously was fulfilled. Konko Daijin accepted the Konko's initiation that is the mutual benefit of Kami and humanity. By day he taught the way of faith to all who sought him, expounding the blessings of heaven and earth, and even at the coming of night. By night he prayed for those who grieved, seeking salvation for all who suffered, and even at the dawning of day. Though years passed and the world changed, he did not waver from his task, the divine task of mediation. Thus was given the sacred Chichikakitsuke, the guiding principle for our daily life. The divine will was thus renewed, and blessings flowed universally, established the way of eternal prosperity, the way of mediation of Wahiawa Konko Daijin. By this wondrous revelation, we are given knowledge of the way. Through all the hardships of this world, through their body and soul, the way of mediation teaches us to turn our hearts to come, without regard for day or night, whether we are near or far. The way of mediation teaches us to pray with total trust. For living aware of divine favor, we offer us sincere apologies and pledge to mend our ways. Let us live our faith every day, seeking and rejoicing in your divine favor. Let us care for those in pain and invite them to the way. Let us guide those who are lost and awaken them to life of purpose. Kami is fulfilled in us, we are fulfilled in Kami. May this way of mutual fulfillment be manifested in this world. May Kami's wish for true peace and the well-being of all people be fulfilled. So we humbly pray, so we earnestly pray. Saishi prayer. for Sunday service, January 30th, 2022. Dear Kiyami Konko Daijin-sama and Tenchi Kane no Kami-sama, we have gathered here today at the Konko Mission of Wahiawa for the Sunday service in honor and appreciation of your divine workings of the universe. The blessings we receive on a daily basis are the greatest blessings we can ask for. Your divine energy exists in all aspects of our lives. You live within each of us, in plants, animals, and nature. Your divine energy existed since the beginning of time. It can never be created nor destroyed. We are surrounded by your workings that continue to provide for us. We would like to take this brief moment in our day to say thank you for everything. This year will mark the 81st year since the founding of this church in Wahiawa by the late Reverend Haruko Takahashi. Please guide us in her pursuit to continue the legacy of this church. She has sincerely dedicated her life to serving Kami and serving people. We thank her for the spirit which continues to watch over us. We give thanks to the strong prayers of the sixth spiritual head, Reverend Hiromichi Konko, who serves the headquarters currently and praying for the well-being of all people. We also appreciate the Amagi Church and Honolulu Church, which are our grandparent and parent church. We also appreciate the ministers and followers of this religion, church and religion. Let us not take anything for granted and apply the teachings and principles of this faith in our daily life to deepen our faith and understand the true workings of Kami-sama. Please continue to guide us in our daily lives and bless every cell in our body from head to toe. Let us take a moment to reflect upon the many things that are happening throughout the world. Let us extend our prayers for the people around the world, for our environment, and for all living and natural things. In the midst of all that is happening, your blessings will continue. Thank you for all that you do. Recitation of Tenchi Hagitsuke, page 6. Giyami Konko Daijin Tenchi Kane no Kami Ishu ni Nagae Okaye wa waga kokoro ni ari Kongetsu konnichi de tamame. Pray sincerely with all your heart, be one with Kami. Kami's blessings begin within, hearts grateful and caring, in harmony and joy. Look to Kami always, now and forever, on this very day pray. Kiyami Konko Daijin Tenchi Kane no Kami Ishu ni Nagae Okaye wa waga kokoro ni ari Kongetsu konnichi de tamame. Pray sincerely with all your heart, be one with Kami. Kami's blessings begin within, hearts grateful and caring, in harmony and joy. Look to Kami always, now and forever, on this very day pray. Adoration Prayer, page 7. We lift our eyes in awe toward heaven soaring above.
We lift our eyes in awe toward heaven soaring above. We bow our heads in prayer toward earth rich and deep. Living amid such gifts of Kami's great giving, how happy and grateful we are. Subjugation of Kiyami Konko Daijin does not stop for a single day. The protection of the divine parent embraces all far and wide. The blessings of Kami flow without limit through all generations. The ways of Kami are mysterious and wondrous beyond our understanding. Day by day, every day, earnestly and reverently, we praise the virtues of Kami, we honor the power of Kami.
Shintoku Sanji, page 29. Aogi matsureba tendakaku.
Aogi matsureba tendakaku. Orogami matsureba
ばちはあつし神の恵みに生かさるるみの幸いぞありがたき我が生き神の恩取り次ぎと日もかくる時のなく天地の神の御守りとをきしかきの隔てなし神につくしみはよろずよにあまねく道で果てしなくパンはからいはくすしくて人の思いぞ及ばざる我ら今月今日いやび祭りてひたすらに神の御影をたたえますらん神の比例を仰ぎますらん。
What's all of that? What's all of that? Mitama prayer. Spirit of those who have gone before us,
You are given the gift of life in this vast and endless universe. You discharge your duties faithfully, each according to your final years. You will remember eternally your attitude from generation to generation, honor as the foundation of our society and the roots of our families. Through the mysterious works of family, you enter the Konko faith. You will walk the way of Konko Daishin, respecting the will of the divine current. You amass great merit through your faith to take things the world beyond and lead to your sinners. Our gratitude is bounded with your loving favors. We revere you as ancestors we serve our homes, our own divine spirits. We beseech you to stand by us, each and every one, to seek the favor of Kami and help us to fulfill our tasks as people without failing. Protect us, guide us, and enrich us, that we may never lose the way of faith, that we may come to all generations, that we may live in peace and prosperity within our homes. Protect us, guide us, and enrich us.
Mitama Saishi prayer. Dear Mitama spirits of the late Reverend Haruko Takahashi, deceased family, friends, spirits of the native Hawaiian people, and beloved house pets that have passed. Good morning to all of you. We have gathered here today for our Sunday service in acknowledgement of Kami-sama's blessings and in remembrance of you. We know that you always watch over us and support our well-being and decisions. Even more now that you are Mitama Spirit. You are the foundation of our existence, which enables us to be able to enjoy blessings today. You play the vital functions of our very existence, our roots. If it were not for you, we would not be here where we are right now. We honor your divine spirit and pray for your eternal peace and happiness. We wish to continue your legacy as an extension of your life and help pass on your core values. We will now take this moment of silence to think about you and your generous love and guidance you have provided for us. As we begin a new week, please continue to guide us in everything we do. You are always in our hearts, and we want to thank you again very much. for solemn pledge. Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for coming to today's Sunday service on January 30th, 2022. My sister asked me this morning to perform the Sunday service. I kind of had a feeling I might perform the Sunday service this morning, but I think she emailed me, texted me like 5 something in the morning, and I was not awake at that time. But I guess once I saw the text, I kept thinking about what I'm gonna talk about today during this service. So recently, I was on, I guess, vacation. I was off from work for a little while, maybe like almost 4 weeks. I was off, with a little bit of work in between, but otherwise it's been just like a long break that I had from work. And during that long break from work, I kept saying the number 69. I'm not saying 69 in like a sexual way. It's just like a random number to 69. Like everywhere I look, whether I'm driving, looking at some random numbers, looking at my receipts, looking on my phone, just anywhere I could see, I would see that specific number. You know, it's like I told my sister, say, no, I've been seeing this number all the time, like a lot, and like almost every day. But recently, it just kind of like slowed down. But there was like a period where I just kept seeing it almost every day. For like maybe like 5 days I saw it. So, you know, it got to the point where it's like, yeah, I wonder if this means something. So I like, you know, we got the internet now, so it's so easy to just Google everything. So I Googled, what is the meaning of 69? Like, seeing it in the daily life, or the significance of that number. And I guess, I don't know if it's a Christian thing or if it's just a holistic thing. They say that the number 69 means that it's like an angel number, is what I read. No matter where I read, it's an angel number where your angels, probably my ancestors or maybe my family members, are trying to communicate to me, saying that there's gonna be change in your life. So like, I don't know what kind of change, if it's good change or bad change or whatever, but there's gonna be a major change in your life that's gonna be happening this year or soon, is what I guess my ancestors are trying to tell me. From the way I interpreted that number, I was like, it's like, okay, I hope it's something good that happens. But then there's a Japanese side that came out, and I was thinking, maybe there's a play in the numbers where you can say, I keep thinking 69 means daku, but I don't know if I'm gonna suffer later on. The other meaning for 69 in Japanese is the number 6. It can be read as mu or mutsu, but the other meaning for mutsu is mugen, forever. And then ku is to suffer. So I also read it as I'm gonna suffer forever. So I was like, so which one is it? It just it's all in the way I kind of interpreted it. So in my mind, in my heart, in my soul, I'm like truly hoping that it's for the better. If it's eternal suffering that I'm gonna have, then it's eternal suffering that I'm gonna have. Then maybe that's what my ancestors might be warning me about. But the only reason why I thought I'd been looking at those numbers, or I feel like I even noticed those numbers, because of the faith that I'm practicing. Is because I'm practicing the Konko faith. And I say to not look at any, like, don't look over any detail or anything that you might see, even if it's a dream in your life, because that might be a message from Kami-sama telling me about what might happen, about my future, maybe about, you know, things that are gonna come your way. So I thought maybe that was a message to help me to prepare myself for whatever's gonna be happening throughout this year. I usually say to look forward to the future because you never know what's gonna happen in the future, and I think I said to look way beyond the future and then look back in the past and see what things have happened. And it's like 10 years passed by pretty fast. I'm already 43. I'm gonna be 44 already, and it's like, oh my god, I'm already that age. Like I say, the when I go to the beach, I was one of the younger people in the water, but now all the other people call me uncle. Like, it's like, uncle, sorry, uncle. I was like, who are you talking to? It's like, oh, it's me. I'm the only old one in the water. So there is change that is happening. I truly feel that Kami-sama has sent me a message by reviewing those numbers. By reviewing those numbers, I have to look it up, and by looking up those numbers, I thought maybe my ancestors are telling me that there will be a huge change in the future, but I don't know what is gonna be happening. I just have to try and accept everything. Just basically accept everything. I kind of learned how to accept a lot of things in my life, whether they're good, whether they're bad. I try not to let it control my life too much, where my emotions get out of control. Even when people drive, I know I'm bouncing all over, but the controlling of emotions is pretty hard sometimes, especially when people drive. When people drive, just the smallest thing, people get really upset. You see, people get really upset, and people chasing each other of the cars. So, those types of small things really don't bother me anymore. After a while of going through certain things and looking back at the teachings of this faith, it helped me to realize that there are a lot more bigger things in life. There's a lot more bigger things in life for each and every one of us, and to not worry about those small things. And when we let go of those small issues, small things that might make us unhappy, we'll truly realize maybe the deeper meaning of why we're here, why we're living, why we are here on this earth with the people who we are with right now. And by practicing faith, that's the best thing that I can think of, to just to understand the teachings, to put it in your life, and to put it in your practice, is one way where you will feel connected with Kami-sama. And that's pretty much all I got for today. So the number 69 for me is something to look forward to in the future. Either something good's gonna happen, or I'm gonna have eternal suffering, or whatever, or I'm just gonna have a more better life. So just gotta wait, and everyone will see what will happen to me later on in life. Thank you.
service. Listen to David sermon. I remember the church number, the phone number 621-6667. I know when I came over here from Japan, I know meaning. That's okay. But when I went to shopping, somebody, oh, you have to change the name. The number 667. Unusual. Taka Sensei chose this number, I believe. The sick people can be saved, finally saved. I believe so. But anyway, it's interesting about number. Some ministers say a particular number is quite distinct to their lives. Anyway. Last Sunday, January 20th, David Sensei was here and made speeches at the monthly Uru service. He spoke about going that could be at any form of dedication to Kami-sama or the church. Goyo itself is a common term referring to many things. When you watch TV samurai movies, you just watch policemen holding nine hands. You travel. Goyo. Goyo means you are under arrest. Be prepared to get arrested. That's the goyo. So anyway, it's a quite term in Japan. But goyo became a Konko terminology. Basically, goyo means many things done for Kami-sama in appreciation and in gratitude. It can be a form of offering of appreciation and gratitude in many ways. Typically, when we use goyo in our faith community, it usually refers to act of service to the church and to Kami-sama in gratitude. Konko minister works for goyo in services to Kami-sama. Becoming a minister of Konko can be the biggest form of goyo to Kami-sama. Lay believers usually dedicate themselves for the well-being of the church operations. Some believers dedicate to help clean up the church, so do some other works, help ministers for their works, guiding people to our faith community, and helping the church to grow and expand in their given condition. Some people attend church and their functions, make financial contributions, welcoming new people into the faith community and supporting ministers in every way they could help. These are form of goyo, service to Kami-sama in appreciation. What is fundamental about the nature of goyo in the faith community is the expression of the prayers and gratitude for the blessing we receive from Kami-sama. The life force change kind of kind. We simply do engage in the act of goyo in gratitude, nothing else. This is the nature of fundamental nature of goyo. If you have any negative notion about goyo, you engage, simply stop the engage to the act. It cannot be goyo. It can be accepted by Kami-sama. Simply speaking, any goyo can be form of offering to Kami-sama. The spirit of goyo in the faith community has been built during the 163 years of history of Konko. The founder used the term for dedicated service to Kami-sama in response to Kami-sama's response to helping people. The founder related, since Kami-sama gives Konko teachings and tell him to convey them to other people, Konko does listen to these teachings and tell them to children and other people. If just one of those people discovers how blessed Kami-sama is and begin to practice faith, Kami will be rejoiced. And you will also be helping to serve Kami-sama. The founding minister of the Konko Church of Amagi showed the very nature of goyo. Master yesterday, made our first visit to Konko headquarters church at Konko town in Wahiawa at the age of 21, age 24. The year he was introduced to the Konko Church of Konko in Fukuoka. He stated, in those days, we got on board a small steamboat from Kokura to Shimonoseki port. From Shimonoseki, we took another boat to Hamashi. A ranch helped us to reach to the land, and we walked to go home. My heart was full of gratitude for a pilgrimage. We stayed at Kiminoya Inn, operated by the daughter of the founder. We slept at another small hut. I felt so grateful for the food, olives, side dish of pickle, vegetable, and peas. When I tried to leave the place, I felt a bit of heart full of pain to leave the place. Master felt so envious of those believers who provided whatever task they could. He was always overwhelmed with the thought, if I could do any of those things for the church, I feel so grateful. This can be the very nature of going. Actually, the founder of the Amai Church was witnessing church believers helping all of the toilet plastering, and he was asked to help the task. They're so grateful, so rejoiced, and help the tasks. And that's the very nature of going. There's no negativity, only gratitude, full of joy, in appreciation to Kami-sama. That's the nature of going. Thank you very much.
やみ根高大敵金の神神に我はこにあり今月本心でともにやみ根高大敵金の神神に我はこにあり今月本心でともに
Qualified number 2, number 3. Under 70, number 5.
Number 5. I listen well to these points and express my deep appreciation. Konko Daijin remained silent for a short time and seemed very calm and peaceful. I can vividly recall how radiant, but also how tired he appeared at that time.
6. After imparting these points, he looked exhausted. These are the final teachings for me. If you carefully read these 9 items, you'll understand the sequence of development of our faith and the original source of admonitions, Shinkai, and instructions of the faith, Shinkun.
Number 7. I have something for which I must apologize to the founder. While I was transcribing admonitions and instructions of the faith, I asked him, "You have given us teachings continuously, one after another, and I wonder how many there are in all." He said, "Let me see, there must be a little over 100. Because of our shortcomings, we transcribed only 82 while he was still alive. If I add these 9 items, that will make it 91 teachings. It was our fault that there are less than 100.
8. I, Satonorio, wanted to keep this a secret for the rest of my life. However, the chief administrative officer, Konko Iekuni, told me to tell everyone about it. I therefore took it as an order from Konko Daijin and have spoken to you about it today. These notes that I hold in my hand are faded, but I can still clearly read the words I transcribed at that time.
9. When I told Konko Daijin that I had to leave because I had been away from home for so long, he said, "Since it is still hot, ride a rickshaw home. You should not get tired." I declined his offer because I was young and high-spirited. But as I did so, Fuji Kura came to the front of the Hiroma and said to me, "The rickshaw has come, so hurry." I first dropped by the Kibinoya Inn and then rode the rickshaw home, feeling uncomfortable because it was too good for me. When I got to the Akabachi district, about 4 kilometers from Otani village, I told the rickshaw-man, "Please go back," but he did not listen to me. He replied, "It is Konko Daijin's request. I will accompany you to Yasuna village, about 12 kilometers from Otani village." When we were at the banks of Shinjo, about 8 kilometers from Otani village, I told him again to return, but he did not listen.
10. He would not change his mind even when I said, "I will explain what happened to Konko Daijin on my next visit." Finally, I just got off the rickshaw and told him I wouldn't move another inch. Then the rickshaw man left, after telling me, "I feel sorry for Konko Daijin, who asked me to bring you to Yasuna village. It had been only an 8-kilometer ride, but it felt much longer. Rather than feeling grateful, I felt underserving." 11. This was the last time we saw Konko Daijin sitting at the wheel.
Before and after Konko Daijin passed away, because I have already talked about how the last and most important teachings of the founder were conveyed, I am sure you can clearly imagine what Konko Daijin was like. As I mentioned earlier, I served at the Hiromai at Goryeo village after riding on the rickshaw on my way home. I was a little tired riding, but I was sleeping on the evening of September 29th, which is August 29 of the lunar calendar. I saw the founder in a dream. He said, "Konko Daijin have served this place a long time. Now Agio should take over." I replied, "I will make sure that this case goes well." After that, outright, that all the foreign disappeared, the diagram appears. Kekai mediation is the place where the founder prayed in the dream. See evergreen branch with white paper hangs. The altar for the founder's return.
Good morning. Good morning.
ただいまから歌を4つ歌わせていただきます。We're going 4 songs。よろしくお願いいたします。ページ57、真理の栄光からです。
神の
With a heart caught up in doubt and worry, I face my life every morning, wanting to shine, but somehow holding back joy and fear. So within my heart, still I know, even one as small as I can run into someday and find a shining, shimmering, brilliant light flowing from a path that never ends. Instead of losing hope or fearing what's ahead, let's keep on moving forward with our heads held high, for we are all living in a world that embraces you and me with its love, supported by the prayers of those who care for us. We are never alone in our lives. When I'm down and I'm ready to surrender, when times are hard and it seems so dark, just knowing each day that I'm never on my own gives me strength and courage to try harder. Holding hands with my friends standing by my side, sweet arms together we will walk to the shining, shimmering, brilliant light flowing from a path that never ends. Instead of losing hope or fearing what's ahead, let's keep on moving forward with our heads held high, for we are all living in a world that embraces you and me with its love, supported by the prayers of those who care for us. We're never alone in our lives. Instead of losing hope or fearing what's ahead, let's keep on moving forward with our heads held high, for we are all living in a world that embraces you and me with its love, supported by the prayers of those who care for us. We're never alone in our lives.
Thank you. ありがとうございました。Thank you very much. Please take it up.
Okay. やりごこ大地地かよ神死に願いかよが心にあり今月今日で頼めいがに根高大地天金の神死に願いかよが心にあり今月今日で頼めい
concludes the Sunday service for today. There's no announcements. See you next week, Sunday. Thank you.